Today we're going to be looking at my pride and joy, my favourite bass, the Lakland 4401. This bass has been with me for about 16 years. It's been my main bass, and I find in every situation I bring it to, it just works. It's fantastic. And I kind of owe that sound to the active preamp and the active pickups, which we'll talk about. Take a look at the bass itself. It has a 34-inch scale length neck, your 3-band 9-volt active EQ, 2 Bartolini Mk1 pickups with a blend switch, so you can either have your preference towards the neck or the bridge. Your iconic Lakland tail plate, which is nice and it's very distinguishable. The body is made out of ash, which is very heavy. It's just over 9 pounds, which is, it can be uncomfortable, but I think the weight of the bass is actually one of its strengths. I think that it gives you more sustain and tonal warmth. It's just a thing to behold. So I'm going to show you some clips just fooling around with the EQ dials. When you look at the back of the bass, just quickly, before we carry on with wood, it has 5 bolt-on screws in there. So the neck isn't moving, it's not going anywhere, it is securely fitted to the body. And also again, with the sustain and the wood, it just helps boost that. It's just another feature on the bass that just goes hand in hand with your active preamp. The sustain, the warmth, I think the heavy body bolted in, it's not going anywhere, it sounds amazing. Let's take a look at the electronics. So you have 2 Bartolini Soap Bar Mk1 pickups. According to Lakland's site, they said that they're split coils, which is essentially a precision bass. Now, I haven't opened them up, I don't know what's inside them. There's no other information that says what they are. so I'm just going to accept that they're split coils. However, I will say the neck pickup, yeah, that has a nice precision rattle to it, which is cool. I like it. The bridge pickup sounds more like a jazz bass, and I don't know whether that's just everything else going on here with the wood and the sustain, but there's quite a deep honk to the bass. It grunts a bit, you know, not a lot, a little bit, which is nice. I like that. The 3-band active EQ, all kind of normal, really. 3-band, powered by a 9-volt battery, so there's only one space for a battery. Don't ask me about that. I have no idea. It just kind of happened. Anyway, 9-volt battery in there. It lasts a while. Last time I changed it must have been 8 months, something like that. I haven't even changed it since. I mean, a long time. The 3-band EQ, I love it. I love it. This is the favorite part. This is my favorite part of the bass. The 9-volt 3-band EQ. I couldn't find the exact frequencies for what the boost and cuts do. I did find this graph, but I don't know if it applies to Lakland because this graph is from an Ibanez SR model. So I'm not sure. So I'm just gonna leave the numbers alone. That's up to you guys. Bass boost and cut, mid boost and cut, treble boost and cut, volume pot, very standard. However, the volume pot, it is a push-pull knob. If you pull it, you will bypass all of the active circuitry, which is fine. It's a very traditional tone, very warm, a little bit muddy, not to my preference. That's all. It's fine. The other thing is you can get an idea of what you'll sound like if the battery dies, because the passive sound works with or without a battery. It's fine, which is nice. So you don't need to worry about your batteries dying on you. You can just play. This is getting really heavy. Your pickup pan, so you can just dial in which one you want. I personally have it, if it's at 12, I'll have it about 11 o'clock in preference of the bridge pickup. I kind of like that jazz bass sound. One of the other features that you may find interesting is the bridge itself. It has top loading, so you can put your strings in through the bottom here, just like a normal bass, and hook them up, or on the back you have your string through. Again, adding more sustain. There are 3 features on this bass to give you sustain and a deep resonant note. I love it. All of my strings are strung through. You've got your bolts, heavy wood, and bridge pickup. You're going places. Not very fast, right? But you're going somewhere. Back to wood. The back of the neck is made of flat sawn maple. Very smooth, very agile. I mean, it could be glossy. It's kind of shiny, but I'm not sure. And Lakland doesn't say, but maybe it's just lacquered. I think it's lacquered. Okay, I'm gonna go with lacquered. I like it. It's very smooth, and I don't find myself sticking to it with like sweaty hands or anything. It's very smooth, it's very nice. I do enjoy this neck. Continuing with the neck, we have, let's just start with the nut. Nut is 1.6 inches. I had to think there because, you know, metric. I don't use inches. I'm a metric person. Get on board. It's a hair shy of what a regular precision nut would be. So it's got a little bit of width to it. I mean, it's larger than a jazz bass. With that said, the neck kind of has this really nice thinness to it. It's just very thin. It's such a thin neck, and it reminds me of a jazz bass. And I think that's kind of where the idea of Lakland excels at. They take the best parts of the Fender lot, and they give you these really nice bodies, nice idea pickups, and accessible neck. So for me, I love it. It's a very thin neck for people with small hands. The fretboard is made of maple. It's very nice, and I kind of dig it. Some of my basses are rosewood, and I find them a bit snappy and a bit top-endy. But the maple, for me, it feels like it sounds a bit contradictory, but it feels like it absorbs some of the high end. For me, maybe that's just a personal experience. But it just sounds like it just smooths everything out, like a natural compressor or something. I love it. The tuner keys installed in this bass are by Hipshot tuners. I like them. I think they're nice. They're very small, which isn't a bad thing. I quite like them. Just practically, this bass does not go out of tune. I don't know whether that's because of the tuners, but you know, they've got a bit of grip on them. They don't slide. they're brilliant. So highly like that, really nice. The body itself, the paintwork, a little bit of a fingerprint magnet, but hey, that's fine. We can clean that off, no big deal. Somewhere, we can clean it off, it's not a big deal. The Bartolinis are great, I really love them. And reading up on this bass, on the talk bass, people don't like them, I don't know why. There's a lot of talk about swapping them out or something, or not liking the preamp. I wouldn't do that, I like it. I do like it, I really like the bridge pickup especially, I think it's really nice. What else? Going back to the neck again, the frets. I read that some people, their 440 had overhanging frets. This bass does not have overhanging frets for me. It's beautiful, it's comfortable, it just slides, there's no, getting stuck on anything. I love it. Beautiful. The only downside I can think of for this bass, apart from the weight, but again, that depends on who you ask. For me, I took it into a metal band many years ago, and they played in C. So that's quite a drop down for a 4-string bass. And this bass does not hold well in C tuning. It sounds awful, it's just not optimized for that. And I could not play in C tuning. This could be user error, don't get me wrong. It didn't matter how I dialed it in, it sounded awful. Just farty, no articulation, I hated it. And even the bass didn't feel fun to play. And I don't mean the strings, it just, I don't know, the feedback you get from playing it and that, it didn't work for me. I ended up buying a 5-string bass for that band instead, which is an Ibanez ATK, Ibanez 305 ATK. So if you want to see that bass, let me know, which is nice, it's a nice bass. Another 3-band active EQ, but anyway, another story. So I'll leave you with that. There's nothing else I can think of with this bass. Overall, would I recommend it? Yeah, I'd recommend it, for sure. For a new player, I don't know. I think maybe your second bass. This was my second bass, actually, after my Precision copy. Yeah, I've had it for 16 years. It's not going anywhere. It's my pride and joy. I love this bass. It's worth a try. Definitely worth a try, for sure. There you go. If you want to see some more of my basses, I have a Fender Aerodyne and the Ibanez ATK 305, which is a 5-string. And if you want to see them, let me know in the comments. Tell me what you think about the video today. If you want to see more of this, less of me, whatever you like, tell me in the comments. I'll see you next time.